Okay, year 8 of Music2Go marketing simulation, year 2026. This is the, I guess, real final rollover. If you roll over from this go, you can't roll over into the next year, so you can still make decisions in the next year, but you can't roll over and see what they do. So essentially, this is the last year of the simulations. Um, where you make decisions, you can see the next year and what your decisions did. So hopefully, if you've made it this far in a positive way, you know, good job, and hopefully you're not too far back if you are behind. Again, reading chapter 2, buying the appropriate market researches, it really helps. So pay attention. It's easy to get behind, and hopefully you don't. So, going into our final year, uh, again, same decisions as the last few videos. Years 5 through 8, I believe, are like this, where no new decisions, and you gotta just tinker. So, key reports. Numbers have definitely been increasing since the since that disaster, I believe was year 6. Again, one little mistake costed that entire year. But looks like our sales are starting to level out. Market contribution has skyrocketed. What is that? 16 million since that fail, and our TMC is now back on the rise at 120. So we're doing good. Looking at some market information. Again, very important read. I would recommend printing this one off each year, the entire document all the way down to life cycle stage. Keep that in mind for your sales promotions. Again, I'm not going to give the information away. You got to do it yourself, but that's where you find it. Here are some product details. Okay, so we're at a 30-45 split. Definitely got more sales there, but they're still beating us. So I think we could go 35 or even 40-35. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of my decisions, that's one I got to make. I can increase the awareness slightly of my Sonic while decreasing it slightly for the Sapphire. As if we're looking at numbers here, that's still above by almost 500,000, and that's behind by like 600,000, 700,000. Product contribution. Yeah, that's dropped. That was at like 30, 33, I believe, at its highest. Could have been even higher, and that's gone from -11 to +8.5. So we definitely turned our youth product around. It was definitely came down to the advertising. What else do we have? Budget. Again, we're using most of our budget to do things. Perceptual map. We are okay. So yeah, it's gone up to that. We're hovering about the same, which is good. They're slightly ahead, but again, not too bad. Oh yeah, there you can see where we dropped off. 2023, bad year. So yeah, they dropped kind of going into 2021, and again going into this year or last year. But we had that huge drop here, but that's a pretty big rise to go from, I believe that was 1.2 or 1.7, rounded up to 2, and now to go to like 13. And again, almost our highest has been 20, and we're basically back up to that point. So that's looking good. Our multi-firm, yeah, they've been kind of skyrocketing, about almost to hit 250. We're about to hit 125. So they are more than double us, or at this point, I think they are approximately exactly double us. We can see that at the beginning, which I'll quickly go back to. Current decisions we haven't done, and our decisions for last period. So they are sitting at 238. They are double us approximately, give or take a couple $100,000. So yeah, like I said, the computer for the single player simulation will probably beat you, but again, for multiplayer, it's everyone's decisions. So it's a bit easier, uh, but I definitely find that the EWS Audio single player computer competitor is not to be taken lightly. But they do have that jump start of having two products from the get-go. And it takes you up to, I believe it was the third year. So again, market research, we've gone through those. Sonic, uh, these numbers are looking good. Again, we're going to increase advertising. Let's do 7 million. I know technically we can't afford to do so, but we'll go into Sapphire and lower you to, what was that, 1.6, so we could probably do 3.5 million and still be okay. No, okay, so we'll go to 3. Or actually, no, we can probably go through 3.25, right? Yep, okay, 3.25 works. Sales promotion, again, not really going to touch that. I could also actually let's drop you to 2 million, and we can increase you to 4. There we go. Just so it's still getting some advertising. Sales promotion, I believe, yeah, both are at 2 now. Again, since I'm not adjusting those numbers, we'll just keep that low. Again, that could be hurting us in the simulation, but again, not giving you guys the information. Nice try. Product development, we seem to be fairly close there, which is okay. No point in launching a new product, especially since this is our last technical rollover. Forecast results, not as good as they were last year, but still in the positive. So let's roll this one over. And since we can't roll past this point, we'll go through the numbers from this rollover in this video as well. So we'll just go through this 30 seconds with one really itchy nose. I'll be back. Oh, sorry about that. Just in time. Okay. So with our final year, as we can see here, single player rollover now, rollers are disabled. You have reached the rollover limit for this world. So back to the year ahead, sales revenue of 111 million compared to their 120. So they still outsold us, but we had a higher gross margin by about 400,000. Marketing contribution of 21 million. I believe that is our highest, or one of the highest that we had. We beat theirs. And our total marketing contribution was 140 million, but they had 258. So thankfully they didn't double us, but they were really, really close. Strategic marketing planning, again, that's just there. Key reports. So, yeah, we sold less, but it cost us less. So that's where the 400,000 where it comes into play. Holding cost of 290 to 361. We we really lowered that. I think at one point we were getting close to 800,000 in holding costs, but theirs shot up, so that's a good sign. Contribution before marketing about 400,000. Advertising was 11 to their 7.437963. Don't know why they changed from 8 even on both accounts to this random number, but sales promotion 4 million. So we spent was 125 million, a little less than that, more than them. Salesforce, that hasn't really changed. No one bought any market research, and no one developed anything. So that's that number's still the same. Marketing contribution 21 million to 19, or well, I guess 21 to 20, essentially. So we had a million more, but they demolished us throughout the entire simulation. So that's where we ended. I guess we technically lost, but again, multiplayer, more players in the market, things can turn out a lot differently. So market information, we don't really need to go over. So yes, we could have done a little bit better. We lost 20,000 sales for not forecasting just the right amount. We did bring that a lot closer, but suffered here. But again, still not too disappointed with those numbers, especially since that 2023 disaster. So that's looking good. Product contribution, looking at the end, 22 and 8. But if we were to not have that $11 million drop in its first 2 years, about each one's within the 15 to 20 million product contribution. This one dropped a lot, unfortunately. Again, making promotional sales and advertising adjustments with the real numbers instead of just keeping them the same to not give anything away would adjust that. So your numbers could be higher or lower depending on what you do. Going through our budgeted report, that doesn't matter at this point. Perceptual map, again. So this is how our marketing contribution ended. We ended up slightly above them at one point finally, so that's a positive to go from that point. And our total marketing contribution, again, yeah, they hit over the 250 mark and we didn't even hit 150. So unfortunately, that kind of sucks, but it's the single player. It'll be different. It would be different in multiplayer. Here are our current decisions that don't really matter at this point, and our decisions from last period. So yeah, we'll go back up to the benchmark report, and yeah, I'll highlight. So not all of that. We'll highlight these. So these are basically the numbers that matter. This number matters every single year, and this is the number that you want mattering at this point in the simulation. You want this number to be the highest. Like it showed, we beat them in marketing contribution this year, but that means nothing because they beat us every other year. So yeah, that is basically the Music2Go marketing simulation. How it looks like, how it acts to the changes you make, whether good or bad, and good luck. I wish you guys the best. It's really fun to do this stuff, and you'll have a lot of fun. So, see ya.